2000年，华天随父母来到英国，入学伊顿公学。在伊顿公学，他跟随业内闻名遐迩的马术教练训练。在教练的悉心督促下，华天在马术方面进步神速。年仅14岁，他就成为了最年轻的国际1星级骑手。16岁时，更跃升为最年轻的2星级骑手。
You became a registered professional rider with FEL with the age of 14, breaking the conventional age limit of 6-year-old and above. So, how did you feel back then?
I'm not
You should be proud of that.
I was registered with the FEI when I was 14, 15 years old. I did my first FEI event when I was 15 in France at Martin-Vast. I remember it very well with Sun Wukong, my first horse, my mum's horse. And but I think actually in Europe there are quite a lot of kids, there are quite a lot of young riders who compete at that level, at that kind of age, 13, 14, 15 years old. So so actually it's in Europe it's not necessarily that unusual. But growing up around horses in Europe, competing at that level with my friends, was a wonderful time. It's a very welcoming, open sport. But at the same time, riding horses, competing internationally in Europe, especially then, I was the only Chinese face. And it's really nice to see now, however many years later, I don't like to admit, there are, it's still quite rare, but there are more and more young Chinese faces coming out onto the European equestrian scene, and that's a really lovely thing to see. But certainly growing up, I realized that, you know, I was a little bit different.
You went to the famous Eton College for High School and studied among many royal family members. Growing up in such an environment, you may have a lot of options in the future. So why did you end up choosing the equestrian sports as your career?
Eton was a very special place, a very special school with huge amount of history. But I think for me, equestrian sports was in my blood. It was in my background. It was what I loved to do. It was, I guess, what set me apart and what I excelled in. And Eton has a lot of history, and obviously you have a lot of opportunities from a place like that.
Yes.
However, I think the reason why the school's so special is that it genuinely pushes you to pursue what you want to do. Pushes you to excel in what you want to do. And I was very lucky to be at a school like that, because I think to pursue...
How many years did you stay there?
5 years in total, but I took a year out between my last 2 years. So I think I would not have been able to go to the Beijing Olympic Games at all if I was at a school that was less supportive. They allowed me to take a year out to train and qualify for the Beijing Olympics, and then come back to finish my A-levels, which, to be really honest, I look back on that now, and I think, my God, you know, at an age of sort of 16, 17 years old, to make that kind of decision, you know, I look back on it now and think how brave I was, but, you know, also how lucky to have that kind of opportunity.